Announcement of a tentative peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is expected to reopen this week. ABC's Karen Travers has more from Geneva, where the G7 summit will be held in the French Alps.
The deal was signed digitally. That's what Vice President Vance told GMA. The deal was actually signed yesterday by the U.S. and Iran. But there is an expectation that there will be a formal signing ceremony here in Geneva at the end of the week, and that Vice President Vance would likely take part in that.
For the first time since April, gas prices have fallen below $4 a gallon. Gas Buddy says the average price is now $3.99 a gallon. Investigators in Missouri are still trying to figure out what caused the crash that led to the deaths of a pilot and 11 skydivers. Their plane went down about an hour outside of Kansas City soon after takeoff. Fox is buying Roku, the $22 billion deal, giving Fox access to more than 100 million global streaming households. This is ABC News. Much discussion about the war in Iran, but overnight in Ukraine, a reminder that war is still raging. The ABC's Tom Soufi-Burridge has more from the foreign desk.
Video from Ukraine's emergency services shows the golden domed roof of the 11th century Uspensky Cathedral on fire. On a visit to the site to survey the damage, Ukraine's President Zelensky said the building, which sits within a sacred monastery, was struck by a Russian drone. That monastery, known as the Lavra, is not just one of the holiest sites in Ukraine, but all Orthodox Christian countries, including Russia. Hours after the attack, Moscow claimed, without evidence, that the building had been hit by an American-made Patriot air defense missile. Tom Soufi-Burridge, ABC News, at the foreign desk.
Britain joining Australia, Brazil, and Indonesia, as well as several other countries, in banning social media for kids under the age of 16. Greece, France, and Denmark are considering similar bans. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Seattle hosts its first ever World Cup match today, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic with Ted Beener.
All right, this traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Your morning commute winding down, but expect traffic approaching the Stadium District to pick up soon. For example, driving in from the north end, both southbound I-5 and 405, they have both thinned out. From the south end, though, northbound I-5 still has occasional slowing from the Nisqually River to DuPont, from 512 to near 38th in Tacoma, from Midway to past 200th, and again from Albro into downtown. Northbound 405 is occasional braking from the Renton curves up to past I-90. Drive times, Everett to Seattle, Bellevue, both of those are around a half hour. Olympia to Tacoma through JBLM, that is east of 40 minutes, while Tacoma to Seattle is improved to 47 minutes. Your Puyallup to Renton drive time is down to 35 minutes, while that drive from Renton to Bellevue is 35 minutes. Don't miss Fireworks Night all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. I'm Ted Beener with KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Seattle is ready to welcome the world this morning at the very first World Cup match kicks off here in 3 hours. Thousands of fans are arriving at Seattle Stadium. The gates just open. Downtown is packed with volunteers, vendors, and security to make sure the World Cup experience goes as smoothly as possible. This person got selected to be a volunteer and says he's excited and equally nervous.
I've been following soccer for like 18 years. I'm a big Argentina and Messi fan. So I love soccer. I watch all the tournaments. So I'm super excited to be a part of it and see how it works from the inside.
Across the city, spots are rolling out watch parties. In Ballard, the Ballard Loft is getting ready for early morning kickoffs. Downtown's Fado Irish Pub is expected to be a go-to spot. Belgium plays Egypt at noon. If you're riding Sound Transit to any of the World Cup matches, you won't be able to take your bike on board the Link or Sounder trains. This will open up more space for anticipated packed trains, according to Sound Transit. Cyclists are encouraged to ride to transit stations where bike link rooms and lockers will be free on game days. If you're planning to fly your drone into Renton during the FIFA World Cup, you should know there are airspace restrictions and police will be on the lookout for violators. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Renton police have rolled out a new D-drone trailer to help keep Renton skies safe and to enforce temporary drone no-fly zones. The trailer scans the sky in real time, detects unauthorized drones, reads their remote ID, and can pinpoint where the pilot is standing. Here's Renton PD's Megan Black.
In the end, it's to keep the community safe and to protect everyone so that they have a really good time.
During the World Cup, flying within a 1-mile restricted zone could get you in trouble. Always check FAA flight rules before you fly. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Despite a heat advisory, temperatures are climbing into the 90s. Seattle area residents and visitors spent the weekend soaking up all the sunshine. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports.
People were out in force, soaking in the soccer celebration areas, along with the heat, trying to snag cold drinks since hydration is key.
They really got lucky with the weather this week.
So, what do you do to beat the heat?
I don't know, go inside best I can, go get in the water.
Sunscreen day today for sure?
Absolutely.
For sure.
At Madison Park Beach, getting by or in the water was the way to deal with the 80-degree temperatures most of us just aren't used to. But beating the heat can be a chore for some and fun for others.
Now to your KIRO News Radio weather. Highs will be in the upper 80s and low 90s around Seattle. Look for some low to mid 90s around the South Sound. And in the Cascade Foothills, Seattle's record today is 88. Right now, it's 71 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee and Ursula are off today. I'm Angela Poe Russell filling in along with Greg Tomlin. But look, we still have part of the crew here. We've got Chef here managing everything and Nick on the twos. Nick, I was expecting you to come in with some, I don't know, because I can't imagine how uncomfortable a lot of people are this morning.
It's going to be hot today, but
And
there might be some other heater tunes coming up.
Yeah, they might need some validation for sure. Did you have a good weekend, Greg?
I did, Angela. Privileged to be back with you on this glorious Monday morning here in the Northwest, and so much to talk about today.
Greg, how dare you mention privilege?
Right at the outset.
First thing.
All right, well, let's get to our top 5 stories brought to you by Pendergast Law. We aren't built for this, but we are still here. We are still standing. The heat advisory will continue until tomorrow morning, but today we are expected to tie a record that was set in 1963. The high is expected to be around 88 degrees, but tomorrow we're going to plummet. We're going to just drop like we do because we're, right here on the West Coast. All those Pacific breezes. We're going to plummet at least 10 degrees while we will stay cooler the rest of the week. No rain is expected, which makes the risk for wildfires higher. So, Greg, how are you managing all this? Or do you have AC? Like, what's your hack?
Not all heroes wear capes. Yesterday, after much weeping and gnashing of teeth in my household, I finally, at long last, pulled out our 3-window AC units out of mothballs in the garage.
Go.
Installed them in the bedrooms in our house because sleep is the key. I cannot sleep if it's a hot room. I broke the seal for the season, so those 60-pound boxes will now be a permanent fixture in our household until at least September now. I'm not moving them back to the garage. I'm not doing the back and forth thing. I'm happy to report that my family slept cozily, comfortably last night. I woke up to hugs and adulation. I had been in the doghouse for some time because on that first 80-degree day back earlier in June, that's when the discontent had started at the Tomlin residence, but I wasn't ready to make the move with just one hot day on the calendar. I thought we can suffer through it, people. But 2 consecutive days pushing high 80s, early 90s. It whipped my butt into action.
Yeah. Have you heard of that syndrome? I forget what they call it, but where a circumstance has changed, but you still behave as if the circumstance hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. And so case in point, we finally have AC. And I'm in the house and my daughter is suffering. She's sweating. She's whatever. And I'm like, why haven't you turned on? And it's like, oh. And this happens several times. Like I wake up at 5 a.m. I'm burning up. I'm like, why isn't this? And that is such a fascinating phenomenon to me that people it's like you're free and yet you don't,
Here's an observation I made. My son had a baseball tournament this weekend and so it's 2 games a day in high 80s, right? And so I thought, oh man, this is going to be difficult for these kids. The conditions under which children play in hot weather, sports outside in the Northwest, has changed drastically from the early 90s. So I show up to one of the ballparks and this is all the rage nowadays, but all the families have these huge tents over all the stands. And they brought like this big tarp to cover the dugout. There's like massive ice buckets. It's a huge multi-gallon jug of water. There's these wraps you can put around your neck that are like formerly frozen to keep the kids cool. I was like, it almost felt like the kids were in the show or something. And I thought, they got to suffer a little bit through this. I mean, I did 30 years ago, but I guess we've gotten hip to the heat up here a little bit and come up with creative ways to combat it in
Chef,
2026.
Did they have that at your tournament?
No. My son played Friday, Saturday. There were no cooling stations.
So
I mean, the coaches brought.
Maybe this is bougie baseball. I'm not sure.
Well, your kid's a little bit older. I think 12,
sure.
right? Mine's 9. But I'm curious to see what schools are going to do today. Because if we go back to September of 2024, when we had that big heat wave, and temps were in the mid 80s, upper 80s, a whole bunch of schools canceled recess because it was too hot.
Okay,
Too hot.
Crazy question, because I'm with you. Like back in my day, the stuff we suffered through. I mean, I was in a non-AC dorm in Central Florida, okay, on the top floor.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, top floor, Central Florida, Gainesville. I mean, and
How
no
did you
AC.
study? I mean, your brain was not developed.
That's what I'm
you were
saying.
not 25.
Yeah,
you could not handle the.
This is walking 9 miles in the snow, okay? And still we made it. So here's my question. Is it possible that the heat is not the same as it used to be? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, here we go.
Is the heat different, or are constitutions simply weaker? Is that the question you're posing?
Is the heat different?
Is it possible that, our layers, our ozone layers, maybe then, like some kind of scientific theory?
I like where your head's at. It does feel different. I will say that. And it's very anecdotal, but I don't remember the heat being this sort of, I'm looking for the right term to describe it.
Yeah,
it feels different than my childhood in the Northwest.
I'm going
it
to
does.
research this. I'm going to research
Look
this.
it up.
We're more sensitive as we're older,
We might be more sensitive.
And perhaps back in the day, they didn't even recognize things like heat stroke. And they're like, you don't need water during practice. Get out there.
Just like the seatbelt and everything else.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Nevertheless, I will research this and get back to you. Meanwhile, let's get to our next story. Okay, next up, calculating the true cost of hosting the World Cup. While the games kicked off last week for Seattle, today is the big day, and a KUOW investigation revealed how much this is costing us. The team there reviewed more than a dozen budgets from the largest local government agencies in the area and tabulated public money that's already been budgeted or spent on the World Cup. The total, $120 million. But that's more than we're expected to get back in tax revenue, which is just under $100 million, according to projections from the Seattle Tourism Bureau. Economists who study mega sporting events say the promised economic windfalls often fail to materialize. Still, they point to another benefit that's harder to measure: the excitement, the civic pride, and the shared experience that come when the world comes to town.
Yeah, I do agree that sometimes the true economic impact and the predictions here are overstated and oversold. Is there an argument that can be made along the lines of, when we seem to be in a perpetual budget crisis and are facing budget shortfalls, it's best to get our own fiscal house in order before we start spending on international sporting events that make us look cool? Absolutely. Those who may reap the biggest rewards from this international event: FIFA, tourism, some select businesses around Seattle, not necessarily, generally speaking, the ordinary folk. $12 to $16 billion shortfall over 4 years for the state of Washington. $120 million in spending, expecting about $100 million tax revenue return generated. Also a positive economic impact for businesses. Is it a wash? Perhaps. I don't tend to have strong feelings either way, Angela. I go back and forth about the benefits long-term of tourism. I know the monetary benefits are there. Fiscally, I get it. But have you been to these places around the world that their main source of income is tourism? Part of me finds that a bit of a shame when the nature of a place itself gets turned into, well, we just like having people in a transitory way coming in, coming out at all times. It's sort of, waters down the flavor of the local atmosphere, culture, heritage, and so on and so forth. And it just becomes people hustling and bustling in and out, in and out, in and out. And I don't love that necessarily.
So are you
Am
one of
I
those
wrong?
people that it's like, don't advertise, we're the best kept secret?
Well, kind of. Yeah, a little bit. I know, and maybe that's selfish at its core. But again, as a kid growing up here in the 90s, I mean, so many places here are just unrecognizable because I feel like we were like the best kept secret in the world 30, 40 years ago. Secret's out, and maybe that ship has sailed, but part of me is still drawn back to those early days where it was like, it was just ours and ours alone.
Isn't this unquestionably a net negative? Because unless you're one of those businesses around the stadium, I mean, Angela, I knew you were going to a game, but we have a beautiful, beautiful day, right? There'd be a lot of people who would normally think, okay, I want to get out on the water, I want to go down to Lake Union, etc. How many people in their minds right now are saying, hell no, I'm not going anywhere Seattle because I know it's going to be an absolute disaster. And so even if I want to go down to Lake Washington, Madison Park, whatever, I'm not attempting to get anywhere through Seattle because I don't want to touch the traffic, and all of those businesses who would normally benefit, they're a ghost town, I would assume, today.
Yeah.
And by the way, during the best time of the year, like no doubt about it, where we finally come out of hibernation and want to do all these things that you're talking about.
And it's a fair point because hotel bookings are down. And I think there are people who avoided certain areas because they think, okay, the World Cup's going to be there. I mean, there were a lot of things we planned around. It's like, okay, World Cup, don't do this because it's the World Cup and we expect it's going to be crazy. But you have to admit there is something that feels good when you know you are the stuff, when you know you are the bee's knees. I have another word I'd like to use. I can't use on radio, but being a world-class city. Seattle has some cool surprises up its sleeve this week. Visit Seattle is planning what it calls a first-of-its-kind ever match night drone show. They'll do several of them after the matches. They'll happen over Seattle Center and will include hundreds of drones forming team flags and final scores in the sky. So imagine there's a match, and then all the drones take to the sky, light up the night with the score, with the team's flags. The first one happens tonight at 10 p.m., and the best views will be from the International Fountain or Fisher Pavilion. All drone shows are free, open to the public, and again, every night after a match. And you can see the schedule at visitseattle.org. Okay, does that twist your arm a bit? It's kind of cool.
It is cool, and you mentioned the word free there, but at the same time, these drone shows are quite costly. So I've been fascinated by
details. Correct.
Yeah, not details. Don't get bogged down in the details. The growing popularity of these drone shows at major events is something interesting to study. I've been wondering if our sort of being bedazzled with these things is a novelty and the newness of it will soon wear off, or if they'll become a permanent fixture in our night skies. Will they replace the fireworks shows? Will they be like a supplement to the fireworks shows? Time will tell. But going back to the cost again, this might knock your socks off. I did a little research on this morning. Many companies that put on these drone shows price per drone to put up in the skies between $200 and $500 per drone. Now, the shows above the Space Needle are being advertised as featuring hundreds of drones. By my calculations, my rudimentary math, that means each one of these shows is going to cost between $75,000 and $250,000. Now, I could be a little off, give or take a few pennies here, but nonetheless, I think people would be kind of amazed to find out just how expensive these shows are. I think most of us believe, like, oh yeah, you plug a drone in, it gets a little electricity, and then you just use a little computer and put it on. No, very costly, very pricey. So it looks like Visit Seattle is going to be putting on this drone show.
So free to
mainly
us.
Fueled by tourism dollars and so on and so forth. If the government ever really fully gets involved in these drone shows, ask about the bottom line the cost.
So bottom line is go, because someone has spent a lot of money.
I
guess. And it's an investment in their brand.
You're talking about free. Can somebody not block your view of the night sky? It's free. Look up. We're not going to charge you for looking up.
Right. Okay. But
is it cool or is it light pollution?
Light pollution. That's it. Do you welcome the increasing traffic in the night skies?
Hell no.
I love seeing the planes late at night, amongst the stars. And I remember as a kid looking up on one of the few, rare days a year in Seattle where we get clear skies, and the stars would be out, and it would be cool because you could point out planes that are 40,000 feet in the air, but you can't hear them at that height, and it's just kind of cool to see them darting across the universe as it appeared at the time. But now with drones and our kind of burgeoning acceptance of more air traffic that's lower and louder, I get a little hesitant to embrace it fully because I know what's coming next are things like drone deliveries, which will be like a complete nightmare, and you'll just hear these things buzzing perpetually.
Good, great. I just
Is
wanted
it a grumpy
to enjoy
Monday morning?
a drone light show. It's the World Cup. It's the World Cup. We're investing in our brand. I just wanted to. I was looking forward to the night sky scoreboard. And now I'm going to look at it and just like picture
Cha-ching.
our dollars going down a toilet. I mean, happy Monday to you too.
All right. I wanted to be a bit of a contrarian here on this
good.
Monday morning because today is the first match in Seattle. It's going to kick off. And by the way, good vibes only. Okay, let's put a positive spin on this from my perspective. The U.S. won a huge game against Paraguay in their opener 3-1, and that U.S. team looks lights out. I watched a little 10-minute curated YouTube TV highlight reel, and man, this U.S. team looks like no previous team I can remember in
Greg,
international
did you watch
soccer.
previous teams?
The Landon Donovan years, Clint Dempsey.
Okay.
If I can
All
name
right.
at least two previous players,
that's more than I got.
That's not
That's
bad.
good. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, for the longest, they've been in the shadow of the women's team. It's been very successful,
Yes.
and there are many reasons for that. So, yeah, I hope that they're able to create and maintain a reputation as being like the top team in the world. Like, that would be really cool.
It looks like a really talented team, and it's one of like the last sports that we don't dominate truly. I mean, football, baseball, so on and so forth.
8 wins in the World Cup since 1950.
Total?
Not exactly. Yes, total.
Okay, and what's the closest we've ever come? I don't even think we've made it to like the semis or anything.
No,
like
we've
that.
had like
rain
one
on
or
my
two
parade. Don't. Okay, how many minutes do I have?
Different.
I have 2 minutes. Okay, let's talk about this. There's another story I want to be able to spend more time on, but let's talk about mail-in voting because once again, it's being used as fodder for political points. The Seattle Times reporting that members of Washington State's Republican Party are claiming that Los Angeles' mayoral race was stolen and that the mail-in voting was the problem. And election night results in Los Angeles showed that Spencer Pratt, a conservative former reality TV star, potentially advancing past the primary to face Mayor Karen Bass. But as more ballots were counted, progressive city council member Nithya Raman surged into second place, securing the matchup. So Washington State's GOP has spent months claiming that our mail-in system can't be trusted, saying on social media that mail-in ballots are how blue states cheat and win elections. What say you, Greg?
Oh, I think it's almost utter, complete nonsense. The mail-in system has worked for Washington for some time. Countless constituents continue to utilize it. It's very successful. The best argument seems to be, oh no, it takes about a week to count votes, and so there gives the appearance of something fishy going on because often the vote totals change depending on where the votes are coming in. And
You mean as they're counted?
Yeah, as they're counted. And COVID exacerbated this issue majorly because this once in 100-year event here caused issues in Pennsylvania when it came to vote counts, and special laws were passed in order for some states to have mail-in voting be more widely accepted. But it doesn't seem to me that strong of a case, especially with what's gone in L.A. I think it's mainly coming from the President of the United States and people kowtowing to his will and his sentiments and his perception of what reality is, whether it matches the truth or not. I mean, the last time Los Angeles had a conservative mayor was back in 2001. It's a highly dominated blue state, blue city. Now, if it was some city across America that had been, traditionally run by the GOP, and then there's this weird anomaly on the books, and it's strange. I mean, in that case, maybe it might be worth more of an investigation here, but this just seems like bluster and noise and deception.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for listening to Gee and Ursula Show. Coming up next at 9:30, the UK taking a stand against social media. Is this something we should consider, what they just did? It would be pretty bold. We're going to talk about it next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
KIRO KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news, capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com. Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. President Trump is in France for the G7 World Leaders Summit. This comes right after his announcement that the U.S. and Iran have reached a ceasefire agreement. Vice President J.D. Vance told ABC News the deal has been signed digitally, but no text of the framework has been seen. ABC's Karen Travers reports from Geneva.
According to a senior administration official, this initial agreement leads to the dismantling of the Iranian nuclear program, leads to the United States destroying and removing enriched uranium from Iran, calls for inspections to ensure a long-term commitment and that it's long-term enforceable, and Iran gets rewarded economically only if they meet the obligations under the deal. Iran has been demanding the release of its frozen assets and the lifting of sanctions.
Excitement is growing at Seattle Stadium as the city prepares to host its first World Cup match today. But despite the crowds, analysts say Seattle hotel bookings are down significantly. KIRO News Radio's John Reb has the story.
Even with excitement around the matches, the travel analytics firm RateGain says local hotel bookings are down an estimated 20% compared to this time last year.
You look at an area that's heavily dependent on Canadian travel and international travel.
Anthony Anton leads the Washington Hospitality Association and says it's a recipe for disaster locally, in some ways worse than COVID. And while businesses are welcoming the fans who are here, he says the numbers won't be a game changer for the local industry. John Rep, KIRO News Radio.
Stores near the stadium are seeing soccer fans stream into town early, looking to gear up before the first match. Pro Image Seattle Sports Director Tyrese Thrower tells KIRO 7 TV.
Back when the Seahawks were making the Super Bowl run, we tried to get as much World Cup stuff in as possible, and we're selling them right out of the box. So I would say we've been preparing for this since February.
Retailers say jerseys and FIFA merchandise are flying off the shelves as visitors prepare to explore the city. A night at the lake turned into a tragedy in Issaquah over the weekend. Several Eastside crews rushed to Lake Sammamish State Park yesterday evening after a teenage girl went underwater. Eastside Fire and Rescue says first responders pulled her out and spent an hour trying to revive her. She did not make it. Investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. Crews across Snohomish County were busy with multiple river rescues. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has details.
Firefighters helped rescue 4 people from the South Fork of the Stillaguamish River after they got stranded in the water. Officials say 2 juveniles were wearing life jackets. The decision crews say likely saved their lives.
Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Traffic approaching the Stadium District is starting to pick up, and if you're driving from the north end, both southbound I-5 and 405 are slowing down. From the south end and northbound I-5, there are some braking lights from the Nisqually River to DuPont, from 512 to 38th in Tacoma, and from Midland to past 200th. Northbound 405 has a few slowdowns from the Renton curves up to I-90. Some drive times right now, Everett to Seattle and Everett to Bellevue are both a half an hour right now. Olympia to Tacoma is about 40 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. And for your forecast, It's going to be a scorcher today. Highs are expected to be in the low 90s. Right now, it's 71 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show. A very appropriate bump in. This is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Summertime. 12-year-old Greg Tomlin is looking back very fondly, or memorizing every word to this song when Will Smith was at the height of his powers, in my estimation.
Oh, yeah, this is a great one. There's nothing like a wonderful summer hit. You know, just that makes you feel the vibes of summer.
Yes, but be careful. I think it was track 7 or 8 on this record. You Saw My Blinker. Not a favorite of my parents in the Tomlin household back in the day.
Wow.
Okay, Angela. Andrew knows what I'm talking about. In one fell swoop, the UK is eliminating access to social media for kids under the age of 16.
But government is always about choices. And it's clear to me that a full ban is the right choice. We're taking world-leading action on gaming services and live streaming platforms, where, at the moment, strangers can contact any child unchecked. Just think about that. Is there a situation in the offline world where you would just let your child pair up with a stranger, an adult that you don't know anything about? No. So we're taking action on that. But it won't be easy. I mean, some technology companies want us to think that social media is unchangeable, part of an almost natural order. But we have to resist that kind of learned helplessness.
This is a major move, and it follows suit. A number of countries, including Australia, other European nations have either implemented laws like this or are currently actively considering them. Angela, is this something you celebrate that we should give 3 cheers for and say hear, hear?
100%. I mean, I'm glad that Australia did it. I'm so glad that the UK is doing it. I know it's not going to take effect for another year or so, but bravo. We have to do something. We are on a train to hell right now. And if anyone, I know there are some of you who think, well, kids need to learn to manage it. We can't manage it. Senior citizens are not managing it. We are at the mercy of a machine, a tech machine that has created products that are addictive, and it's hard to break. And I'm so afraid about what it's doing to our kids' brains that are still being developed, their attention spans that are shrinking. And I know some people may say, well, how are you going to enforce that? So it is not perfect, but saying it's not, well, we can't figure out how to keep everyone off, so we're just not going to do it. That can't be the answer when it comes to our kids. Meta reports that after Australia's ban, they deleted 500,000 accounts, 550,000. And the way this works, as I understand it, typically to get on social media, the kid could just put in a fake birthday and that's the end of it. So what these countries are saying is you now have to have strict age verification requirements. And as we keep learning about ways that kids are going around it, then we get better at how we make these companies enforce it. We have to do this for the sake of our kids.
So the voice we heard there in that audio soundbite was that of Prime Minister Keir Starmer over there in the UK. And it's worth pointing out because with our friends across the pond there, they have a parliamentary system. They don't have the United States Constitution. They don't have the Bill of Rights. And I don't think that's a coincidence that we haven't seen such sweeping bans implemented yet here in the United States, whether on the state level or, I don't know, even on the federal level here. The First Amendment is paramount to this issue here in the United States. Well,
are children guaranteed First Amendment rights?
You're right to point that out. I was just about to get to that. So there are serious First Amendment challenges that have generated and will generate court challenges all around the country. These tech companies, if we know anything about them, have very deep pockets. And they're using the First Amendment as like the main sticking point here when it comes to potential bans. I think at a bare minimum, it's reasonable to say that many states should, and constituents in various states, should push their lawmakers for some form of parental consent requirements and age verification requirements as a start. It's not government overreach, Andrew. It's protecting our kids. But America is unique in this regard because we sort of have a default reflex to be wary of government overreach. Generally, I think that's a good posture to have. And liberty, freedom, self-determination, that's sort of our knee-jerk reaction. Whereas around the world, that is not the default posture. And so these other countries are moving quicker on this issue. And I think some would argue, hey, America needs to get its act together. We should be leading the way. I can sort of understand why we're not. Now, that's not a good enough argument to say we should never. I'm just telling you, I sort of grasp why that dynamic exists comparatively. But I think on a state level, parents, schools, interest groups need to get together, get a coalition together and push legislators to, a bare minimum, make it harder for those under 16 to get on social media. We just know too much now. The issue is too serious. And the benefit, the upside of this far outweighs any downside. It's not a free speech issue. It's a protect our kids issue.
Yeah, their brains are changing, the mental health impacts of it all. Chef, you laughed a moment ago. What was going through your mind?
I don't think there's anything about our American exceptionalism or, lack of trust in government that's different. I think what's different is the fact that Google, Apple, Amazon, every single social media company that matters started here in the United States and has more political sway than they do in Europe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt. But I mean, and this is no different. It's a tale as old as time, and that is companies and businesses, whether it's fast food or cigarettes or any kind of vice you can think of, wants to get you while you're young. And once they hook you at a certain age, you've got a customer for life. It's harder to hook adults when they are set in their ways.
I don't know. The way I've seen older people adopt social media has been frightening.
That's true, too.
I mean,
You're
knowing
right.
I've seen young people be able to manage their devices in meetings better than I've seen seniors.
Really?
In fact, I just saw a friend post about, it's scary. And I think we need to do something before we lose a generation.
It's crazy because our daughter is on the precipice of turning 16 here in the winter of 2026. And the amount of maturity she has this year compared to just a year ago is mind-boggling. And we have banned social media in our household like the plague. And every day, I'm more and more validated by that decision. But we're getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? She's just kind of coming into her own in terms of being able to be a great critical thinker and be a mature young lady that I'm like, 16 kind of starts to feel like more appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well done.
Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula show. Lots more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio. 97.3 FM.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you, gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Hartley Wilcox here. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. And everyone knows eggs are an incredible source of natural protein and omega-3. But have you ever stopped to think about what the hens eat to make the eggs great tasting and even healthier to eat? At Wilcox Farms, we believe in nature-first nutrition. Our hens enjoy pasture access and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. That means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for you and your family. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs, you're investing in real nutrition and real value. Because healthy hens make healthy eggs, and healthy eggs make healthy, happy families. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Learn more at wilcoxfarms.com. Wilcox Farms, where better eggs begin with better care. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Insulation rebates from PSC are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSC insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSC trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community, not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
in the park. Think it was a 4th of July. Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show. Nick rocking the much appropriate tunes all morning long. Busy news day here and a fascinating topic to discuss this segment. If you listen to radio or if you dipped your toe into the manosphere at any point, you might be under the impression there's a massive crisis facing American men. Testosterone replacement therapies exploded in popularity, with estimates suggesting as many as 11 million American men now using it. But do they need it? And what are you, I guess, doing a lot of the heavy lifting there is the word need. A new research from the University of Michigan found 12% of men met the current clinical guidelines for treatment, which generally require symptoms of low testosterone and confirmation through 2 separate blood tests. The remaining 88% no medical need. Eye-opening statistics here, Angela. I get it to some degree. The never-ending quest for the fountain of youth or life eternal seems to elude the human race, but there's no shortage of people wanting to tap into using supplements or meds or steroids or drugs to try to maintain and hold on to some semblance of youth, vigor, and vitality. And so it makes sense to me that, you know, these things being advertised as providing some youthful benefit for people makes them extremely popular in this day and age. Do you think I'm on the money with that interpretation, or do you have a different read on this?
What's the problem? I mean, okay, so they didn't need it. How many things don't I need that I need?
That you want? Exactly, that word need again.
Yeah,
right?
that word, I'm putting those in air quotes, so to speak. But it just seems to me there are so many things that people endured many years ago that thanks to medical breakthroughs and things that we are now learning, we're like, hey, you don't have to suffer. And I remember telling a group, I won't say what the issue was, and there was a doctor was like, you don't have to deal with that anymore. Like no one, so it's like if we know more and can actually make ourselves feel better and not have to feel like the 50-year-old, let's say that my mom felt like at her age, then why not? Is there some kind of consequence?
Generally speaking, when you make some kind of medical intervention, it usually leads to some type of side effect, whether small or large. And I remember having my eyes open to this when my wife gave birth to our first child, and my dad educated me on this, and we did a few medical interventions to help the delivery process. But then once you make that first intervention, something then goes wrong, and then she needs another intervention, and we got about 4 interventions into the process, and I started crying. Yeah, I had been up like 20 hours, right? It was a long labor, but my dad said that's the nature of these things. Once you break the seal, so to speak, it sets off a chain of events, and so whether it's testosterone, whether it's GLP-1s, whether it's blood thinners, you get something and you lose something at the same time. The body has a natural kind of process that it goes through. And if you meddle in that, it's not all upside all the time.
That's fair. But here's the thing. I'm right when I say there are some people, they would rather take 5 years off their life than have their low testosterone. They're like, wait,
You're absolutely right.
Sure. No, there's no question about it. For
As a middle-aged American man...
For the same reason, I might have a whiskey old-fashioned at night. You're making a little trade-off.
You're making a trade-off,
I'm putting poison into my body. I have no illusions about that. I don't do copious amounts.
Because you're on GLP-1,
I'm on GLP-1, yeah. But if I have a nightcap before bed, I'm like, I know deep down this is not good for my body. And
feels good, though.
Might one drink take off an hour? Like, I'm sure there's statistics on this. But we're like you said, Angela, we do this on a daily basis.
Do you guys know what the downside is?
Having that ding dong.
Do you know what the downsides are? Because I remember a point in this country where we were very concerned about the side effects of particular medications, particularly vaccines. The downsides of low T, though, I was digging into this last night. Like the low T medications, it's pretty interesting because they do provide a lot of benefit aside from the increased vigor. It can lift your mood, provide you a sense of vitality.
Sure.
A lot of the symptoms of low testosterone mimic clinical depression. But there is also, once you start taking it, you cannot stop. Because once you start taking external testosterone, your body stops producing it altogether.
Interesting.
And also, your body has a way of adapting to new normals. So those effects may not bear out over time. There's also a not insignificant percentage of men who struggle with gaining breast tissue, because as your testosterone rises, your body naturally produces more estrogen. Things like increased emotional instability, acne. Like, there's a lot of downsides, and none of the men ever talk about this outside of the comment forums once they've been on this stuff for years.
I want to focus on one thing you said there.
Shrunken testes,
Andrew.
too, is another one?
No, when you said once you start taking it, you can't stop. And I think that describes people when they tune in to Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell here on KIRO 97.3 FM.
Amen.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us?
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In France, President Trump has arrived for the G7 summit this week, meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron and telling reporters he believes terms of the deal with Iran will be finalized later this week.
The deal's all signed, and the strait is already partially opened. As you know, they're doing a little hunting for a couple of mines that they've already found. But it's essentially ships are starting to go out now. On Friday, it'll be completely opened.
But today, the U.S. Navy issuing a maritime advisory to ships in the region, saying the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports will remain in effect until the agreement is formally completed. In Missouri, federal investigators beginning to collect evidence today of that deadly skydiving plane crash over the weekend, 65 miles outside Kansas City. The pilot, along with 11 skydivers, were killed when the plane went down shortly after takeoff from Butler Memorial Airport. The cause remains unknown. On Wall Street, stocks are up. This is ABC News. Dangerous heat unfolding up and down the West Coast.
The Central Valley of California, from Bakersfield up to Fresno, heat advisories right through today and tomorrow. Temperatures around 100. How about Chico up to Redding? Highs up to 110 degrees, and the dangerous heat wave spreading into coastal areas of the Pacific Northwest. We're talking Medford all the way up to Seattle, really centered on Portland, Oregon. Extreme heat warnings there, 95 to 100. And temperatures at night, you don't get much relief, only falling down into the 60s and lower 70s. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
A new way for the FBI to take on hackers. The agency says it's built a replica town where law enforcement officials will be trained by simulating real worlds like cyber attacks. The fake town is located in Alabama. Homes, a hotel, a courthouse, and 200 servers have been set up. An FBI report says there was nearly $21 billion in losses due to cybercrime just in 2025. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Seattle is buzzing with World Cup excitement. The city hosts its first match today, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. Some drive times right now. Everett to Seattle and Everett to Bellevue are both 30 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma is about 40 minutes. Renton to Bellevue about half an hour. Traffic approaching the Stadium District is starting to look a little heavy. If you're driving in from the north end, both southbound I-5 and 405 are slowing down. Now from the south end, northbound I-5 have some brake lights from the Nisqually River to DuPont. Northbound 405 has a few slowdowns from the Renton curves up to I-90. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gauchard. Seattle is ready to welcome the world this morning as the very first local World Cup match kicks off in just 2 hours. Thousands of fans are preparing to head down to Lumen Field, which is now Seattle Stadium. Downtown is packed with volunteers, vendors, and security to make sure everything goes smoothly for anyone who's planning to attend. This person got selected to be a volunteer. He says Seattle is his home. He works and lives here, and he wants to show up well for the rest of the globe.
I mean, I never thought I would be in a city where the World Cup is happening, so super excited to give back and help out and help make it like a beautiful experience for everyone.
If you're looking for a place to catch the match in Seattle, you won't have to look far or sit quietly. Downtown spots like Fuel Sports Grill are planning packed watch parties with wall-to-wall screens and early kickoffs. The Georgian Dragon Pub in Fremont is known for its lively soccer crowd and nonstop chanting on game days. Over in Capitol Hill, Montana is expected to draw fans with big viewing events and themed drink specials. Belgium plays Egypt at noon. As Seattle prepares to welcome hundreds of thousands of visitors, ferry engineers are raising concerns about whether Washington state ferries are ready. The union representing about 400 marine engineers says chronic staffing shortages remain unresolved and could affect service this summer. The union plans to discuss those concerns during a Wednesday afternoon press conference at Seattle's Coleman Dock. Seattle police are searching for a suspect after two men were stabbed in the Chinatown International District Sunday. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas reports.
Police called there just before 7 o'clock to the area of 10th Avenue South and South Weller Street after reports of a man covered in blood. Once they arrived on scene, officers found a man suffering from multiple stab wounds, and while searching for the suspect, found a second victim about 2 blocks away near 12th Avenue South and South Weller Street. That man had also been stabbed. Officers providing first aid before both victims were taken to Harborview Medical Center in critical condition.
For your KIRO News Radio weather, highs will be in the upper 80s and low 90s around Seattle. Look for some low to mid 90s around the South Sound and in the Cascade foothills. Seattle's record today is 88, and we could reach 90. Right now, it's about 75 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
All right, good morning to you. Welcome to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee and Ursula are out today, but I'm here along with Greg Tomlin, and of course, Chef is doing his thing, and Nick, thank you so much for being here and doing all that you do. And remember, you're part of this. We appreciate you weighing in on all the topics. The text line, 888-973-5476. We look forward to hearing what is on your mind.
The text line has been lit up like a drone show this
I
morning.
love it. I love it. And there's still lots to talk about. So let's get to what's new at 10.
What's new at 10?
Check this out. A group of Bellevue homeowners is taking on Sound Transit amid concerns about the new light rail line across Lake Washington. According to KOMO News, residents in the, I never know how to say this neighborhood. Is it Entai? Entai neighborhood say the trains are too loud, generating a low-frequency rumble that they compare to rolling thunder. They claim noise levels near homes have reached about 65 decibels at night, potentially exceeding local standards. The homeowner sent a letter to Sound Transit and points out that the trains operate until almost 1 in the morning and begin again as early as 4:30 in the morning, resulting in roughly 50 trains crossing during overnight hours. According to measurements cited in the letter, residents recorded train crossings reaching about 83 decibels beneath the bridge, compared with about 64 from nearby traffic. They're asking the agency to slow trains overnight while a long-term fix is found. Michael Eggers took Chris Daniels from KOMO 4 News out on jet skis to hear the noise from underneath the bridge that connects Bellevue to Mercer Island. So take a listen.
It's like rolling thunder. We thought Boeing was testing jet engine. It creates a much more pronounced, louder, and lower bass sound that unfortunately penetrates not just our backyard, but into our home as well, and has really affected our sleeping. They've known about this for 4 months, and we've received nothing but delays, broken promises, stonewalling, almost as if they're trying to just make us go away by frustrating us into doing nothing.
Sound Transit says it has received a letter but declined to comment because of potential litigation. Daniels points out this isn't the first time something like this has come up. 2009, Sound Transit acknowledged that light rail trains operating through South Tukwila exceeded federal nighttime noise limits in certain areas. They ultimately installed lubrication equipment and other mitigation measures to reduce the sound levels. That seems like it would be really frustrating to have that level of noise overnight.
Oh, without question. I think they potentially have a very warranted case here. I don't know if you remember the Rent is Too Damn High party in New York. But perhaps some of the citizens in Bellevue here should start the trains are too damn loud party here, because it would be mind-numbingly frustrating to have to hear this noise all throughout the day. I wonder what the backstory is here, and if they just didn't predict that they were going to be this loud, but all during construction and the multi-million-dollar project. Was Sound Transit advertising how loud these things were going to be? And did that match what they actually were in the long run? Or was it just not on these citizens' radar until it actually started happening ongoing every day? But I can't imagine going from this quiet, serene existence into all day long. Incredibly frustrating.
You know, it's interesting. When I lived in New Jersey, we had this joke that we lived near the ocean because of the traffic noise.
Sure.
And so we would pretend it was the ocean and kind of deal with it. This is but I bought that house knowing that that was the case there. And in this case, that was extremely loud. What concerns me is you would think that considering how long this project was under development, it is an engineering marvel. It's amazing that would have been...
First one in the world, right?
Yeah, that would have been one aspect of this that would have been addressed. And it's like, guys, do we have to get to this point where we're threatening legal action? And it's like, come on, it's loud. There has to be a way that we can fix it. But this is so maybe it won't be as easy as Tuck Willis since this is a newer kind of technology. Maybe it's not so simple.
You know the phrase, I smell a lawsuit. And whether it's retrofitting the light rail here in this track to somehow put some noise cancellation technology on it or higher walls, I don't know. And if it goes to court, definitely. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean... First of all, I'm sensitive to, hey, all of a sudden you have this new noise in your neighborhood. Like, that would be incredibly frustrating. At the same time, how many neighborhoods has Sound Transit gone through right now? And while it's not on a bridge, it's still on an elevated track that is going right next to people's houses. Now, I want to point out that the guy who complained about this, he says there's a group of neighbors. I don't know if there are or if it's just this guy who's come together, hired a lawyer and, called himself Bellevue Neighbors Against the Noise, as happens in a lot of these situations. But he took Chris Daniels out on, jet skis underneath the bridge to record the sound, right? Which is a lot different than being in your bedroom at night. And then he had his noise meter again, outside, I don't know if it was outside his house or on the bluff above, showing a noise meter at 65 decibels. Now, 65 decibels is normal conversation 3 feet away, a dishwasher running nearby. That was outside. He did not show any proof. And in fact, Chris Daniels in his report said, this guy says he's hearing 85 decibels, but he couldn't show him even outside that was the case. So I don't know if this guy's complaint is, legitimate and, widely shared or, a personal issue that, frankly, there, tens of thousands of people throughout Seattle have accommodated themselves to without hiring an attorney and making a news report out of it.
But it seems to me there was an effort to be reasonable and say, hey, between these hours, can we reduce the number of trains? I don't know what the numbers are and how many people are using them at 3 a.m.
I don't think they run at 3 a.m.
Well, okay, that's right. I'm sorry. 12:40, 1 a.m. is when it stops, and it picks back up at 4:30 a.m.
Yes.
So their particular compromise was around...
Just to slow them down.
To slow them down. I think that doesn't sound like a group that's trying to be unreasonable.
I think it's worth a shot. I also raise my eyebrows anytime a neighbor in Bellevue gets a news report, like a whole news report about a noise issue that none of the region has expressed before.
Are you trying to say that people with resources and money have more access to platforms to get their point across?
Is that true?
I sense sarcasm, Chef.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to our next story. For more than this, this one. Woo. Okay. This is wild, guys. For more than 2 years, Seattle's 911 medical calls have been monitored by AI, and no one told us about it. According to a Seattle Times investigation, the Seattle Fire Department has been using AI from a Denmark-based company called Corti to listen to medical emergency calls and help dispatchers determine which one should be diverted away from an immediate ambulance response. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's my commentary, and then there's a story. Back to the story. The AI listens in real time and can prompt dispatchers to route some callers to a nurse-staffed call center in Texas instead of sending an ambulance right away. Fire officials stress that the AI doesn't make the decision, human dispatchers do. They also say patient data remains protected and that the tech is intended to improve consistency and efficiency. Still, the Times reports the program has operated largely out of public view. There were no public disclosures to callers, no public review process, and city officials acknowledge they currently cannot provide clear metrics. Wait, what? What?
I'm sensing some
you can't
frustration
provide
from you
clear
here.
metrics showing whether the tech is improving outcomes, and it's been 2 years.
Angela, I think the more we guest host together, the more we need to include a permanent staple feature of good AI, bad AI. And because there's just going to be an abundance of stories where we try to interpret, is this a good deployment of this technology or is this inherently evil? Okay?
I love that. Let's start that
truly,
segment where we're
I'll get
together.
the spanking sound effects for the bad
Yes.
AI.
But I make the analogy to like when you're talking to a dog, good boy, bad boy, kind of like, who's a good dog? Who's a good AI? In this instance, I do think there could be potentially more upside than downside here. There are instances where human intuition, subjectivity, and judgment can outweigh the benefits of an AI. But in this scenario, I think long term, this is one of the things that's going to be a net positive when you take out human emotion and human interpretation on the spot, especially in the midst of emergencies, because AI can harken back to a treasure trove of data when people are on the line with 911 and they say, hey, there's a tingling up my husband's arm here and he's feeling something weird in his neck. AI can instantly go, okay, when we have those phrases put together, I can look back at 100,000 other cases and go 87% chance it's this.
It's really good at patterns, so that would make
great at
sense to
pattern
me.
recognition,
However,
absolutely.
they did have a case in 2022. I think this was related to that call center in Texas where a retiree waited 10 hours for an ambulance and was found deceased, never got the ambulance because it went to the call center. So, yes, I can point out the time it went wrong. I see your point. The thing I worry about is sometimes it's that feeling or the tone in a person's voice that can sometimes, if a doctor or a medical professional dispatcher feels like, there's that intuitive piece of how worried the person appears. And it's like, can AI pick up on that kind of stuff?
We have a family friend, this was years ago, but was in the hospital for some reason unrelated to a more serious issue. And he was just sitting there in the waiting room. And someone came up to him, one of the people on staff there at the hospital, and said, something looks really wrong, like with your face right now, the type of redness and the way they were presenting. And they said, we want to run like a few more tests on you right now because it just feels off the way you're presenting right now. Sure enough, they were having like a major coronary event. And it was just a look from somebody in the hospital staff that was like, I've seen this kind of look present itself before, and I feel something like might be amiss, and save this person's life, our family friend.
Wow.
So that supports your point. And I'll make the driverless car analogy here, which is we've seen some highly publicized incidents where driverless cars get in accidents or in the worst case scenarios, even result in some fatalities. But I would say on balance, over time, if you're just looking at data and statistics only, and that doesn't involve emotion or visceral feelings, I think driverless cars will be a net positive because 45,000 deaths on the roadways nationwide. If we reduce that by half with driverless cars, that's massive
fair.
victory.
Yeah. There's a book called, going back to that intuition piece and talking about your family friend, there's a book called The Gift of Fear, and it's by this expert in security and safety and crime and all that. The Gift of Fear. And he always says, so he has the gift of fear, and he has one called protecting the gift, which is about protecting your kids from all these things in life that could harm them. And he always says, at the moment that you think you need to get a camera for your babysitter, that is your intuition telling you something is off, right? And so he has a lot of stories and anecdotes about the importance of our feelings and I think plays a role in medicine. But okay, in the spirit of the good AI, bad AI, or good use, bad use, AI in the ER, okay? A new Harvard-led study is turning one of the biggest fears of AI into a serious medical question. What happens if AI is better than the doctor? Researchers tested OpenAI's reasoning model on dozens of ER cases, asking it to perform tasks that doctors handle every day: triaging, recommending diagnostic tests, identifying illnesses, and making treatment decisions. The result? Independent reviewers found the AI matched or exceeded the performance of experienced ER physicians. Researchers say the tech was especially strong when info is limited, correctly assessing patients during the earliest stages of triage. It also excelled at diagnosing rare diseases and complex cases that often challenge even seasoned physicians. Now, before anyone starts replacing doctors with chatbots, the study's authors stress that's not the point. The AI was evaluated using text-based info, not real-world patient interactions, physical exams, x-ray scans, or other things like we talked about that influence medical care. So in light of that, you're probably excited about the possibility.
Yes and no. When it comes to things like being on the operating table, and I would not want to be the beta tester for this, or the guinea pig, so to speak. I don't want to be a first generation, I'm under the knife of an AI for a major surgery. I want to see how it goes for a little bit. But there's no question in my mind that just around the corner, there's going to be a time when even doctors are replaced by AI, because they can be more precise, they can make a cut better, they can bandage a person better and know exactly what artery I need to avoid by 1/1000th of an inch. I was talking with my dad about this a few months ago, who has 40 years in medicine. And I said, what's going to happen when it's the robot that's, making the cut and you don't need surgeons anymore? And he said, without question, we're going to get worse surgeons, right? Because they're going to be doing less of the actual cutting themselves. And so you're going to have people that program AI kind of be like your main surgeons, right? Just punching numbers into a thing.
Kind of
and saying,
how you had you had engineers that were creating the drones that then replaced pilots,
Exactly
they can do
right.
shows without
the future of warfare is going to be like gamers.
Yeah, that's what she's been doing. Like this lady I know works in a drone lab, and her whole work has been about.
Oh no. Drone warfare. Oh,
but
man.
she was a former fighter pilot who went into engineering and started. Yeah.
She worked at the company that just announced an expansion here in Seattle.
No.
Okay, all right.
She's at Duke. She's at Duke.
the drone warfare and the autonomous weapons.
Yep.
That is a terrifying future, and that is what I see when I see these drone shows. If you imagine, thousands of drones in the sky showing this beautiful display. Now imagine each one of those with a munitions package and facial recognition enabled. That's what I see.
Yes, and back to this medicine topic. Is it a scary future where humans don't know how to perform life and death tasks, and we outsource them to machines in mass? And then I think of Terminator 2 in the future. What happens when the machines either break down or start to take over, and humans are kind of useless with all these skills that we have foregone and given over to our AI overlords? I thought about this when my daughter was behind the wheel the other day, and I'm teaching her how to drive. And I'm seriously questioning, is this the last generation that we're going to teach to drive? And then 15 years from now, the next gen will be like, well, here's how you punch in the coordinates and your car takes you somewhere.
They already don't know how to use the stick shifts.
Okay, this goes back to something I remember when we were talking about AI a couple years ago, and someone asked, I want to say it was, I think it was Mark Zuckerberg, but I cannot recall. And someone said, well, if AI does all this stuff, what are we going to do? And their only answer was other cool stuff. And I still don't know what the cool stuff is. Like if I'm not driving, if I'm not operating on people, if I'm not like diagnosing people in the ER, like I'm not really sure what the cool stuff is yet.
Well, if you're super rich, it's going to make you super richer. That's pretty cool. If you're super rich.
Guys.
What if I'm just rich?
I mean, you may see some portfolio benefits. The rest of us don't.
I mentioned this earlier, but we were at my son's baseball tournament this weekend, and a lot of times they play walk-up songs for kids, or when the relief pitcher is warming up.
Cooling tents, walk-up songs.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like we were at the show. Someone put on an AI song.
Oh, no.
And
Ban them.
no one recognized it as AI. And then, so to your point, what is there left for us?
How would you know in an
do?
8-second sample?
It's insane. It's a brave new world, guys.
Just sit on the nude beach, I guess. I don't know.
That's coming up. That's a topic coming up in the near future. Greg Tallman and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
John Curley here. You know a smart thing to do right now? Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Choose a Lennox cooling system and get a heating system free. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings. Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface. Okay, explain more. We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most. Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help. That's PendergasLaw.com. RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closet.byDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. President Trump is in France for the G7 World Leaders Summit. This comes right after his announcement that the U.S. and Iran have reached a ceasefire agreement. ABC's Karen Travers reports from Geneva.
The deal, according to the president, would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and lift the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, a return to the status quo before the war. It opens a 60-day window to negotiate the end of the war and Iran's nuclear program.
Here in Washington, excitement is growing at Seattle Stadium as the city prepares to host its first World Cup match today. But despite the crowds, analysts say Seattle hotel bookings are down significantly. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has the story.
Even with excitement around the matches, the travel analytics firm RateGain says local hotel bookings are down an estimated 20% compared to this time last year.
You look at an area that's heavily dependent on Canadian travel and international travel.
Anthony Anton leads the Washington Hospitality Association and says it's a recipe for disaster locally, in some ways worse than COVID. And while businesses are welcoming the fans who are here, he says the numbers won't be a game changer for the local industry. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Meanwhile, stores near Seattle Stadium are seeing soccer fans stream into town early, looking to gear up before the first match. Pro Image Seattle sports director Tyrese Thrower tells KIRO 7 TV.
Back when the Seahawks were making the Super Bowl run, we tried to get as much World Cup stuff in as possible, and we're selling them right out of the box. So I would say we've been preparing for this since February.
Retailers say jerseys and FIFA merchandise are flying off the shelves as visitors explore the city. The match kicks off in just an hour and a half. As road trip season heats up, Washington gas prices are dropping right now. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has more.
The average for a gallon of regular in Washington has dropped to $5.51. That is 11 cents cheaper than a week ago and almost 30 cents less than a month ago. But it is still $1.14 more than a year ago. So let's go county by county. In Snohomish County, filling up will cost you $5.63 a gallon. In King County, around $5.85. And in Pierce County, a gallon of regular is averaging out at $5.62.
A domestic violence call in Spanaway turned into a police pursuit. Pierce County's deputies responded last Monday after a woman reported her husband was violating a no-contact order by showing up at her home, attempting to break in, or repeatedly calling and messaging her. Deputies say the suspect drove away when they arrived, then took off again when spotted a short time later.
Get
Get on the ground. You're going to get dragged down. Lay on the ground or I'll put you on the ground.
The 28-year-old was arrested and booked on charges including burglary, felony no-contact order violation, and attempting to elude police. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. If you're driving along northbound I-5 from 5, traffic is heavy right now. It'll take you about 45 minutes traveling into Seattle. Some other drive times, Everett to Seattle about a half an hour. Everett to Bellevue also 30 minutes. Renton to Bellevue about 35 minutes right now. And if you're approaching the Stadium Districts, traffic is really beginning to pick up from southbound I-5 and 405. They're slowing down. And from the south end, northbound I-5 has some brake lights from the Nisqually River to DuPont. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. For your forecast, prepare for a scorcher. It's going to be about 90 today predicted in Seattle. Right now, it's 75 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Kashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show this Monday morning. And boy, I can't get over the fact that temperatures are going to be approaching 90 degrees today. And when I hear that, I just think it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. The fate of Seattle's now notorious, though unofficial nude beach is now in the hands of a King County judge after years of complaints from a few select neighbors. A lawsuit seeking to either close Denny Blaine Park or ban nudity there will be decided. Neighbors argue the park has become a hotspot for illegal behavior, including public sex, masturbation, and drug activity. Supporters of the beach point out that nudity itself is legal in our state and note the park's history as a safe gathering place for Seattle's LGBTQ plus community for decades. Angela, your thoughts, analysis, interpretations of this story, the fate right now of this park. Looks like it's in the hands of a King County judge, and they're going to be deciding basically are some of the moves that were previously done by the city, including putting up various signage and barriers and having a clothing optional section of the park, are truly addressing the quote-unquote problem the way it needs to be addressed.
So do you want my opinion on it, or maybe discussing whether they're, like, where do you think the case is going to go? Where should I begin?
Well, I'll tip over my hand to start this debate, and that is I'm practically a never nude, so I think you know where I come down in this issue.
You're a never nude?
Practically.
Okay. All right. So my opinion on this is I'd love to find a way for everybody to be able to exist. I really would love that. And I felt, so just a little bit of context. So about a year ago, maybe it was less than that, after this partition was put up, we were talking about it a lot on the radio, but we'd never seen it in person. So Gee and Ursula went to the beach so we could see, like, hey, does this look like a reasonable thing? And to me, because I went there too, I thought it was a great compromise. It's like this big wall, if you will, that covers the area. Mm-hmm. And so you can be nude beyond that covered area. I think it's a great compromise. The issue that I noticed, there were a few people who would still come from behind the covered area naked, which is not part of the deal. Everyone doesn't do that. And so for me, I would hate to see a place that's been a hub for people to find community and be able to be nude on the beach. And at the same time, I also respect that there are probably some bad actors who are doing things they shouldn't be doing, and that's not okay. That is against the law. So I would just love for a way for both of them to be able to exist, and I just don't know if we're going to get there.
Yeah,
sadly.
you're arguing for some form of balance here to where both sides' kind of interests can be represented in such a way, and it's not an all or nothing.
Yeah, because I don't
proposition.
think being nude is not the problem. It's the alleged acts. It's the alleged acts that
yes.
happen, and my issue is it's not everybody. It's a few. I think it's a few people that are taking things too far, and. Chef, you were there that day too. I mean, was it? Yeah. Don't you agree
Taking
that
your
it's
life
not
into your own
everyone
hands?
doing that?
No, not even close. And I'm sure stuff happens at night.
On one day that you were there.
The problem is that the person who lives next door, Stuart Sloan, owns U Village, and the simple fact is, like, nudity in sex happens at a lot of parks. It happens at a lot of beaches. if you happen to have a camera there at all times and you want to be persnickety about it. This has been like the park has been used this way for decades and decades and decades. Let's be frank. This guy wanted to shut down the beach altogether. He was like, let's put in kids' playground equipment because that way it will be impossible to have any kind of nudity there, even though nudity is not against Seattle municipal code. You have to do something lewd in order for it to be illegal, which then can be addressed by police. And like Stewart got on the horn with then Mayor Bruce Harrell, talked to him and said, hey, this is a real issue. And Harrell sent one of his guys over to his house to talk to him about it. Like, this is about the city spending months and months and months addressing the concerns of basically one, maybe two people who don't like the fact that this is in their neighborhood, despite the fact that it has been there well before they owned their homes.
Okay, but I don't necessarily think it's persnickety to not want sex at any and all public parks. I mean, that's why God invented
No, it's not. But if you decide to make this your pet issue because it's in your backyard, like, has anyone tried to shut down Golden Gardens because couples have engaged in coitus there during the evening hours?
Wow, we are going deep into the thesaurus here, but
I'm trying to be radio friendly.
Well, it depends on the level that it's happening and the perception. And I think,
is it the level, or is it the fact that it might be men engaging in it together or women engaging in it together?
You could potentially be reading into it more, but I think it probably is more pervasive at this park than at other parks. But regardless, it should be shut down everywhere. Now, the fact that it exists and its legal status as a nude park is one thing, but I grant that the main concern here is the illegal activity. Is there specific data we know on this? I'm not so sure about how often it happens, in what capacity.
We have a text here from someone.
I've seen lots of videos online of blurred out private parts of it happening in broad daylight.
Here's someone who lives there saying, I'm tired of the nude people saying this is their park. The park was not used as a beach 25 years ago. I live in the neighborhood and used to walk my dog down there and had to stop because the behavior was disgusting. I don't want to look at nude people when I'm out for a walk. Ridiculous. They took the park from us. So that is, and Chef, you have to acknowledge that day.
There were nude people?
No. Okay, of course.
They're nudies.
But I'm saying that partition they had put up.
Yeah.
We were like, shoot, this didn't have one before. I mean, you have to admit that was a lot if you were walking by and there was no partition.
So the question is shutting down the park, because they're saying that it is still too much. And this person says that it was not a nude beach 25 years ago. This is the first person that I've ever heard make that argument. The first. And if you look at any publication, from The Stranger to the Seattle Times, they all acknowledge that this has been a historically gay nude beach. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was new to them, I don't know. I don't know what their situation is. I wouldn't want to see nude people on a walk with my kids either. I don't think the park should be shut down, though.
Yeah, again, and this is my personal preference, I don't like mass nude bike rides, nude protests, nude people at the beach. I mean, keep that. I mean, if you want to find the oak tree at the end of Shawshank Redemption and go do your business there, I mean, go for it. But in major city centers and things like that, again, it doesn't have anything to do with the law. It's just personal preference. I'm going to tend to err on the side of less public nudity, in large in part because we got to protect the kids.
But if the partition is there, and if people stayed behind there and actually followed the rules and didn't engage in activities, is that okay? Can they just have a place in the world to?
I would say no, but I might be on an island on that one, and I accept that. That's fine.
Love
That's
it.
Clothing island.
Lonely clothed, fully clothed island.
All right. Great discussion. I love the music for this one, Nick. It's actually perfect.
When the weather's hot. Great song.
Scenarios coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
KIRO KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news, capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know Sunbucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
A rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show. Potato, tomato, tomato. Scenario. It's time.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Wondering where you're going with that. I love it. All right. This is from Slate. I could send my kid to a better school, but I'm not sure if it's worth sacrificing my lifestyle. I live in a state with terrible education, and I'm in the core of a large city with a complex school system. I'm stressed out all the time about what to do for my kids. It's important to me, of course, that they get a great education, and my oldest will start elementary school soon. The public elementary near us is good, but still not comparable to public elementaries in other states. By 5th grade, he'd be feeding into a failing middle school. Charter isn't really an option because it's a lottery system. There's no guarantee he would get in. We could afford private, but it would mean a large change in our lifestyle. We'd likely have to downsize our home, move into a neighborhood that would not be as walkable, have such great access to parks and restaurants and cafe like the one we live in right now, and it would require a little bit of compromise in our budget. It's affordable, but it would mean a change in our lifestyle. I'm stuck with my husband on what to do here. This is the first child that I'm going to be sending to school. Angela, do you have any advice?
I do. I think this goes back to values. What do you value most? And I think when you let your values be your guide, the decision becomes clear. It's one thing if you said it's a good school, like the elementary seems like it's a good school, but if you're saying it's the middle school's a failing one, then you have the resources to make another choice. Then if education is a top value for you, you do that. I actually moved so that my kids could go to a great public elementary school. I literally moved.
How far?
When I tell you, it was about 15 minutes away, different neighborhood. But I mean, I had to work hard. I was literally just calling realtors to try to find, because I wasn't in a position to buy. So I was calling realtors to see if there was anyone who maybe their home wouldn't sell, and so they would be open to renting. And sure enough, that's how I got it.
Wait, what? You got into a rental home from a seller whose property was on the market for a long time?
Yep. They were not having good luck, and so they're ready to rent it.
Wow.
And it would happen to be within walking distance of the elementary school that I wanted the public elementary school I wanted them to attend. And
That's creative.
So if that is a key value for you, then you do what it takes to make it happen. If cafes and restaurants and your lifestyle is more important, then do the school you have and then pay for tutors. But tutoring, the education is one aspect of this. The other aspect is the social. Are they going to be in a class with a bunch of kids who are maybe having a lot of problems? And that's a real thing too.
Chef, did this person write about how old their child is?
I mean, they're going to be entering
elementary.
Yeah,
okay,
kindergarten.
entering
yeah,
kindergarten.
They're just starting their school experience.
I think that does make a difference because the age of the child determines how high the stakes are in terms of the education. Because let's be honest, I've seen 3 of my kids' journeys play out over time, and the consequences are relatively low at younger ages, and they only increase over time. So maybe a compromise here for this person would be wait a little while till maybe 4th, 5th, 6th grade to either decide to put the kid into a private or, as in Angela's case, move potentially. But I concur completely with you, Angela, that it is a values proposition here at the end of the day. My wife and I have done the exact same thing, and as she is fond of saying, what else is money for? I mean, we're raising these three little humans here, and we hopefully want well-balanced, well-adjusted adults who have a certain level, in our case, of character cultivation that we can be proud of at the end of the day. And some people will say, I want to send my kid to this school because they'll have a lot of knowledge instilled in them and a lot of information. And for us, it was a values calculation. We want our kids to be surrounded by the values that they get at home, at church, and at their school. We want the tripod. We want the trifecta at all times, and them fully immersed in this. Yes, they will have to eventually decide whether or not to make it their own decision to pursue the values that we have. But for the time being, we want them immersed in that. And so, yeah, we have decided with some of our money that we're making that calculation, and we have decided to sacrifice other things in the process.
Yeah. One thing I'll challenge is about the stakes, because there's so much research that shows their education early on makes a difference. I watched, my daughter had an opportunity to leave that public school to go to the advanced one, and I chose to keep her at that school so that she could be with friends. I watched the test scores drop. Over time.
Nick?
Over time. Yeah, Nick.
Well, you know, if you have the means and are willing to make the effort for bettering your situation when it comes to education and school quality, I don't see why you wouldn't make the move. And if it is possible, it could be a longer commute, maybe harder classes, having to make new friends on top of it all, a higher cost, of course, for the better quality. But I feel like if you get a taste of the new, it'll be hard to return to the former after the fact. Of course, there's growing pains when it comes to, a new job or even classroom in this case, but this seems like a long-term investment that'll probably pay dividends in the end,
What's your takeaway on all this? Because you have kids in this
Individual
age group.
experiences may vary. Changing schools might not be the answer. You could go to the most expensive school in the world and have some kid that bullies your child and makes their experience awful. Unfortunately, you have to release your child into the world, and sometimes if you have to change your whole life to send them to a different school, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, the people I've spoken to that they have, they've gone climbed mountains to get their kids into certain, like it becomes a thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting. But great discussion. I like it. Let us know what you think. 888-973-5476. You all have lived a ton of life. So let us know what you think. We'd love to talk about it a little bit later. Gee and Ursula Show continues in a few minutes. Thanks for being with us.
California tumbles into the sea. That'll be the day I go back to Annandale.
If you got into a car accident, you can negotiate with the insurance company yourself. Or you can make the wise decision and call the Herald Car Law offices. They handle the paperwork while you recover. They negotiate with leverage, and they get you the recovery you actually deserve. An amount that's almost always higher than what you would have walked away with on your own. 7 locations across Western Washington and a free consultation at carlaw.com. There are 2 R's in car, C-A-R-R. Car accident? Call CAR. Online at carlaw.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you when they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what? End up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Happening now in France, world leaders, including President Trump, arriving for this week's G7 summit. The president, meeting with France's leader earlier, told reporters that a new memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran has been digitally signed and will be finalized, he says, Friday in Geneva. President Trump says the strait will be reopening fully and vowed that Iran will not control that critical shipping waterway.
It's toll-free. We had a little argument on that. It's toll-free. So I don't think we're going to need much help. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have a ship or two up here from a few countries.
Iran's foreign ministry also says that they will still collect what they call a service fee to help escort ships through the strait. Prices for a barrel of crude began to drop on word of a deal, and the U.S. gas prices also dipping below $4 a gallon. Extreme heat alerts stretching up and down the West Coast with California's Central Valley along with the Pacific Northwest to Oregon facing triple-digit temperatures. This is ABC News. The FIFA World Cup now in full swing with matches taking place in host countries Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. After the first U.S. match in Los Angeles, another U.S. city now preparing to host World Cup matches this week. But an incident involving the English national team, soccer team, and their equipment has led to a police investigation.
The English soccer squad made a cross-country trip from Florida to Missouri and had much of its equipment sent by truck. When the trailer was opened up in Kansas City, team officials found that autographed jerseys, goalkeeper gloves, cleats, and a World Cup soccer ball were gone. The two truck drivers have been arrested and charged with possessing $18,000 in stolen goods. The English team has recovered most of its gear. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The New York Knicks, along with fans, continuing celebrations after the Knicks clinched the NBA championship over the weekend, beating the San Antonio Spurs in Game 5. New York City's mayor now announcing that the Knicks will be honored with a ticker tape parade this Thursday. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
World Cup kickoff is just 1 hour away at Seattle Stadium, but first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. The Valley Freeway is running about 47 minutes right now from the Puyallup area to Renton. It's bumper to bumper on 167 as you merge onto 410. It will take you about 25 minutes out of Renton up to Bellevue. There's a lot of brake lights along Bellevue Way Southeast. Better Way to Seattle Drive is about 35 right now. There's a few brake lights as you move through Kent. And coming down out of Snohomish County, it's about 36 minutes right now from Everett to Seattle. Prepare to slow down on I-5 North near James Street. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Seattle is ready to welcome the world right now at the very first World Cup match kicks off in 1 hour. Thousands of fans are arriving at Seattle Stadium as the gates have opened. Downtown is packed with volunteers, vendors, security to make sure everything goes smoothly for anyone who's planning to attend. This person got selected to be a volunteer and says he's excited and equally nervous.
I've been following soccer for like 18 years. I'm a big Argentina and Messi fan. So I love soccer. I watch all the tournaments. So I'm super excited to be a part of it and see how it works from the inside.
And across the city, spots are rolling out watch parties. In Ballard, the Ballard Loft is getting ready for kickoff. Downtown Fido's Irish Pub is expected to be a go-to spot, and Belgium plays Egypt in just 1 hour. If you happen to be riding Sound Transit to any of the matches, you will not be able to take your bike on board Link or Sounder trains. This will open up more space for anticipated packed trains, according to Sound Transit. Cyclists are still encouraged to ride to the stations, where bike link rooms and lockers will be free on game days. And as Seattle prepares to welcome hundreds of thousands of visitors, ferry engineers are raising concerns about whether the state ferry system is ready. The union representing about 400 marine engineers says chronic staffing shortages remain unresolved and could affect service this summer. The union plans to discuss those concerns during a Wednesday afternoon press conference at Seattle's Coleman Dock. And we're learning people were living inside an iconic Tacoma landmark when it caught fire last month. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reports.
Fire officials say it was an accidental electrical fire. And last week, the city posted a do not occupy notice on the theater door saying the fire investigation found illegal rental units inside. According to the city, the owner will be required to pay for the tenant's relocation and may be fined hundreds of dollars a day if they don't comply.
I live on the block, but, I'm trying to reflect now if I've seen any suspicious activity, but I mean, that's a bit of a surprise to me, honestly.
The city says it's unclear how many people were living there or for how long.
Now to your weather. Sunshine today. Highs will be in the upper 80s to low 90s around Seattle. Right now, it's 78 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Well, good morning and happy Monday. We are so glad that you're with us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee and Ursula are still out today, but I'm Angela Poe Russell filling in along with Greg Tomlin. Good morning to you, Nick. Thank you for everything. And Chef, as always, appreciate you keeping us on track. All right, we are going to start the show with what's new, or top stories, I should say, at 11 o'clock.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
The White House has hosted state dinners, Easter egg rolls, concerts. Now it has hosted a UFC title fight. More than 4,000 spectators gathered on the South Lawn Sunday night as President Trump celebrated his 80th birthday and the nation's 250th anniversary with UFC Freedom 250, a full mixed martial arts card staged just steps from the Oval Office. Fighters made their entrances through the White House itself. The Marine Band provided music. The Blue Angels and Thunderbirds, performed a flyover. Champions celebrated with American flags and post-fight conversations with the president cage side. The event reportedly cost more than $60 million to stage, a tab the UFC says that it paid. But how is that? Okay, I feel like I want to research that more because the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds, that has to be paid for, I would imagine, through government funds, not through like the UFC writing a check to the government. Yeah. But I digress. Let's get to the point. How are we feeling about this history-making event?
It was quite a spectacle on the White House lawn. My visceral reaction is that the human cockfighting in the People's House was a national disgrace. Perhaps that's embellishing a little too much, but I didn't like it, Angela. I mean, part of me saw the visuals and it felt like President Camacho in the movie Idiocracy. Look, Donald Trump at his core, I think, is an entertainer. And his presidency, for better or worse, has been must-see TV. And this is a guy that likes the spectacle, likes big crowds, likes the flashing lights and all the attention. I'm someone, call me old-fashioned perhaps, but I like poets and, politicians and official readings of the U.S. Constitution on the White House lawn, not human cockfighting. And so, and to see some of the things that were said in the ring by one of the competitors who called Michelle Obama a man when they were talking.
What was the it's
a disgrace.
Okay, let me backtrack a minute. This is supposed to be his 80th birthday, and this is the 250th anniversary, our nation's 250th anniversary.
Yeah.
So how does Michelle Obama come up? Like, what's the context? Like, what?
I think this fighter had said that previously, and then there were some stories written about how shameful it was to feature this person who said that in this fight. And so he was doubling down when the cameras were all on him. I just thought it was a pathetic display in all regards. And we can do better. That's all I have to say about that.
I've intentionally been just ignoring this. So you mean to tell me that he was known for saying this kind of stuff?
I believe that's the backstory.
And we invited him to come on and to this event anyway.
Yep.
And then he says this on with all the cameras rolling.
Yeah.
And called our former first lady a man.
Yeah. It was terrible. And I was not a fan of the event. And more generally speaking, this America 250 thing has felt a little strange, the kind of slow roll up to it here. I'm always asking people in my vicinity, how are you celebrating this? This is a big one. I mean, this is the July 4th in your lifetime that, if anything, should be the most over-the-top, most patriotic. And I have sort of felt, generally speaking, it's just sort of a strange time to be an American. And I will say this also, getting back to the UFC thing, it pains me to admit it as someone who leans center-right, but the Democrats just throw better parties than Republicans. They just do. I mean, we can all concur. I mean, during the Obama years, you had Lin-Manuel Miranda singing the Hamilton song for the first time, premiering it at a White House party. And creative people, artists, musicians tend to lean Democrat because something in their minds are more creative and open-minded. They can think outside the box a little more, and it just tends to put on better shows. Republicans don't do a good job at this, Angela.
I think that artists would have no problem performing for people of either party. I think the line comes when, you invite people who've called former first ladies a man and invite them to the party and give them a platform. And I think in general, it just feels like whenever I think we can't stoop lower, we just go lower.
Lower the bar even more.
And fighting is, look, I grew up. My dad enjoyed watching the fights on TV, and we'd grill and have a good time. But I wouldn't say that fighting is like the best of America. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that low, fight, like the idea. We know it's like
how many brain cells can you kill within 10 minutes?
It's not like I wouldn't say it's our best, but is it? But so to make that like a featured thing where we bring our Blue Angels and our Thunderbirds and the people who have served our country, protecting us, and who highlight what's supposed to be the best of us is just a disgrace.
It belongs in an arena far away from the White House
It's
lawn.
a disgrace. And I am like with the person who said that, like, tell me you're a racist without telling me you're a racist, because you can't say the other thing. So I guess you'll say that. And has anyone in the administration come out to condemn the statement?
I don't believe so.
I don't think you'd ever see that.
Because that would have been the
Trump
thing to do and say, hey, on this day, I apologize that this person said that.
And
that would have been the thing to do.
And at the same time, like, you're asking the military to take part in this event and to be a huge part of America 250. And you have the Secretary of Defense, now Secretary of War, who has stopped the promotion of every black officer in the military. Said they are no longer promotable. If you're gay or you're black, you can't be promoted. That is not America, and that's not America's military. Any military leader will tell you this is what meritocracy looks like. You have a diverse set of people who are promoted based on their service and their skills and how they perform. And to take one specific minority group and say, these people aren't worthy because of my racism is the antithesis of how a functional organization that rewards merit works. I don't know, like 250 just seems like a joke to me this year.
Yes, and that's why I don't want to spend any more time on it. So let's move to the next story. Parents packed the Edmonds School Board meeting this week to protest, or I guess was that last week? Last week?
Yeah, last week.
To protest a proposal that would have some elementary school students starting class as early as 7:20. The district says the change would help accommodate later start times for middle and high school students because research has shown it can improve sleep and academic performance for teens. That change will happen in 2027. But many parents argue the solution simply shifts the burden onto the youngest students. Concerns raised at the meeting included children waiting for buses in the dark, and 150 dismissal times, creating childcare challenges for working families, and the impact on sleep. One parent noted that 12 elementary schools will be placed in the earliest tier, including 10 of the district's 14 Title I schools. And Title I, that usually means that you have a certain amount of the student body that's below the poverty line. Another pointed out, or qualifying for free lunch. Another pointed out that neighboring districts generally don't start school before 7:55. Students also testified. One young girl told the board that with her family's schedule, she'd have little chance of getting enough sleep if the proposal moves forward. Where do you stand on this? This is a tough situation. It's true. Research shows that teens going to school later is better for them, but is this the answer?
Yeah, and I believe the American Academy of Pediatrics currently recommends schools start no earlier than 8:30. Make what you will of that, and whether or not you think the American Academy of Pediatrics is a reputable organization or not. But I see all signs pointing to a later start time being more beneficial to our kids. And maybe this is a selfish parent talking about here, but it just seems like the earlier you push up the start times, the more chaos and the troubling aspects of the parent-child relationship emerge, because getting going in the morning is extremely difficult. And furthermore, it doesn't cultivate an environment where a healthy level of sleep is attained by children here. So I completely understand the argument. We're talking as early as 7:20 a.m. as a start time. It just kind of feels and sounds bonkers.
Contrarian view.
Please, yeah.
What time do your kids typically wake up?
It's gotten earlier for my 15-year-old daughter.
I mean, when they were young, elementary age.
When they were young?
Yep.
Every morning we have to flip the lights on and off,
Really?
bang the door.
Okay, because my kids would
rustle
wake
their
up at
feet.
6 a.m. They were always up at 6 a.m.
Your kids
Well,
have
your
a
kids are
bedtime,
overachievers,
Greg?
Angela.
No, like my kid. Okay, Matthew's 9 now, so he's starting to sleep until 8 at the latest.
Okay.
But
well,
like 5:30 or 6, man.
Well, we have a 9-year-old that for the longest time would stay up late and then get up early. And unfortunately, we didn't put safeguards in place. But Bluey was always beckoning at like 6 a.m. And we'd go down there and he'd be watching Bluey. And we'd go, "What time did you get up?" The other two, though, much more difficult to get them out of bed in the morning.
Interesting. Yeah, mine were always early risers. So I'm like, get their butts to school. My main issue with this is the 150. I think that's really tough. I know schools are always saying, we're not your daycares. And at the same time.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you.
Chef's just going to come out and say it.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, it's like, that's too early. That's too early. I think if they could go from 7:20 to 2:30, something like that, the kids will be fine. Especially elementary, make them have a nap time, lay on the mat. Do they still do that in elementary school?
Oh, heck no.
We had to get naps.
Nap time.
They would put
in
mats
kindergarten.
down in the classroom.
Yes, a little thing of milk, a little carton of milk we would have in
They
our
would give
class.
you warm milk?
Oh yeah, well, maybe warm milk is me
Were you at a private
nostalgically
school?
misremember.
'Cause you had it
No,
in your
I was in
pocket?
public school. And my kindergarten teacher played guitar. And during nap
Sang you
time, he would
lullabies?
start to lullaby us
strum.
to sleep on these mats with our milk. There's no greater feeling in the
That
world.
Sounds so
Yeah,
nice
they
right
gave
now.
us-
I could go
Doesn't it?
for that right now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I went to a private Christian school, and they would make us take the naps in the classroom, and then they would give us a treat when we woke up. So if we laid there and did what we had to do, then we wake up and we get a treat from the M&M jar or whatever it was, So
Take us back.
Yeah, so I feel for me it's a later start times, but I'm like, get those kids up, get them out the door, but keep them later. That's where I stand. Okay, so we still have a little bit more time to talk about the heat advisory. Temperatures pushing 90 degrees.
The heat is on.
Thousands of people heading to the water to cool off. The problem, the water is still cold. The King County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit is warning that many local lakes, rivers, even Puget Sound remains cold enough to trigger what's known as cold water shock. Officials consider anything below 70 degrees in many area waterways are still way below that threshold. Puget Sound, for example, around 55 to 60 degrees. And that sudden plunge can cause an involuntary gasp reflex, rapid breathing, panic, and in some cases, drowning, even for experienced swimmers. And I'm going somewhere here, so stay with me. Marine deputies say they routinely see people underestimate the danger because the air feels like summer. They also report increasing numbers of rescues involving paddleboarders who may be far from shore without life jackets. How much of a stickler are you for life jackets when you're on the water, boat, paddleboard, any of it?
I am zero tolerance when it comes to especially children not wearing life vests around lakes or various bodies of water here around the
You said
Puget Sound.
children.
Nerd
What
alert!
about adults?
Just kidding.
What about
when
yourself?
it comes to adults, I look to my dad as an example who spent some 40 years working in a hospital, and it never failed growing up during the summer. He would come home with horror stories of things that had happened around bodies of water in Washington, and he saw the saddest stories year after year, and it was people not wearing life jackets. So I had an appropriate level of fear instilled at me at a very young age when it came to being around pools for our kids and comes to being around pools for our kids. We're more okay if there's a lifeguard on duty and, you can see the clear blue water in these public pools and so on and so forth. But when it comes to our kids being on lakes or on the ocean, there's no question about it. Even though they can swim, you are putting on that life jacket because the risk is just not worth the reward if you're going without one.
No, I insist with it because the kids have tried to convince me they shouldn't have one because I can swim all this other stuff when they're out paddleboarding, but we insist. I have to admit, I did go out on the water this weekend. I started with the life jacket. And then I got really hot, so then I unzipped it. And then it got really hot, so then I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep it close. But now that I've been reminded and you told me all these scary things, Chef, in the script.
Yep.
Because in my thought process, I'm like, okay, the life jacket is right next to me. And if I were to fall over, I was like, oh, okay, I can swim. But then I don't. You're right. Just because it's 90, the water is hovering on 55 to 60. And I didn't know about this gasp reflex that could happen. So now I'm scared straight. I will.
Good.
I'm scared
exactly.
straight in the future. Instead of having full clothes, and I will just maybe do a bikini top and just have the life jacket full. That way I can maintain myself in the heat.
Okay. I mean, one of the reasons I bring this up is because just think for a minute. In all of the social media pictures that you see of people out on the water, enjoying their time on the boat, how many folks are actually wearing life jackets?
I don't see them.
Like we're at the early 90s when it comes to the mentality about life jackets as we were about seat belts and like bike helmets for kids. When I grew up, we didn't even have bike helmets. Like my parents went to Canada for hockey helmets because there were no bike helmets that they sold for kids. And we have so many conversations about being a responsible driver, about the need for seat belts, not drinking and driving. But for most people, that all goes out the window when they get on a boat. Who cares if Kevin has had 4 IPAs in the last hour at 8% alcohol, right? And you can't take a good bikini selfie with a life jacket on, so why would you wear it? It ruins the whole vibe. I don't know. I just think most people
I don't care about vibe.
Most people aren't willing to call out their friends either. Would you tell your friend to put their seatbelt on in the car?
What's the most iconic movie poster of the early 1980s?
You have something in mind that I don't, I'm sure.
Steven Spielberg's E.T., where the kid is on the bike and E.T. is in the little basket and they're flying across the moon. Does he have a helmet on in the silhouette? Absolutely not. I was going to bring up the bicycle analogy too.
Literally.
Yes, okay. Nobody's wearing a helmet, not one in sight. There is something, I hate to say it, but you're exactly spot on. There's something nerdy or perceived as nerdy about wearing a helmet or wearing a life vest. It doesn't look cool to us. And even in modern movies, nobody's wearing a helmet when they're on a bicycle because
nobody's wearing a life jacket.
It's just something that does not appeal to us when we say, like, oh, nerd alert, you're trying to be safe and not look cool when you're flying down the road at 20 miles an hour on your Schwinn. I don't know.
The only people wearing life jackets in movies is like you get the overly conservative stepdad who ruins all the fun, and the family's out in the boat and they're all looking miserable wearing life jackets. I don't know. Maybe we should call out our friends. Like, bro, throw on the life jacket.
I think if it's your vessel and you have a right to dictate what happens on in your house.
How many people do that, do you think?
They don't.
Bro, put on the jacket or I'm not starting this boat.
Well, because then you're that guy or that gal. Oh, you're going to be that person right now? Lifeguard police. No, yeah, I am.
I think
Sorry.
we need to make it cool again to be reasonable and safe. Because in this litigious society, someone will refuse your life jacket, they'll get injured, and their person will then sue and say, "Well, you should have required me to wear." Like that is the world we're living in.
KIRO Radio, where it's cool to be reasonable and safe. It's Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell on the Gee and Ursula Show. Stick around, we'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, it grow fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer. Food in your cart and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday? When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you? We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Life doesn't have to slow you down just because costs are up. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther with the confidence of all-wheel drive. And you have to experience the newly redesigned Subaru Outback with bold styling, advanced safety, an upgraded touchscreen, and even more capability. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and current offers, stop by Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
If you're a homeowner looking to replace your comfort system, there's only one call you need to make. That's the Home Comfort Alliance, especially right now. As a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, they meet the highest standards for training, installation, and customer satisfaction. John Curley here. Efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance matter. Right now, when you upgrade to a Carrier cooling system, you get a heating system free. And they make it so easy with a 60-second price estimator. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com now. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Preparations are underway for a big parade this week for the New York Knicks, the new NBA champions. Mayor Zohan Mandani says it'll happen Thursday morning, the team's first ticker tape parade.
We want to make sure that we're building a parade that can really meet this moment in terms of how much it means to our city, and also ensuring that we're taking every single step to keep New Yorkers safe as they do that.
Mamdani says this parade could be the largest in New York history. The massive UFC claw is still on the White House South Lawn, a reminder of Sunday night's fight night. The administration said it was meant to celebrate America's 250th birthday, which also happened to fall on President Trump's 80th birthday. Details from ABC's Mary Bruce.
4,000 spectators watching just steps from the residence. Fighters entering the octagon from the diplomatic reception room. That's a space typically used to greet foreign dignitaries and escorted by Medal of Honor recipients. The Indian Treaty Room converted into a locker room.
World Cup fever is rising here in Seattle. We are 30 minutes away from the first kickoff at Seattle Stadium. Belgium's national team, the Red Devils, have set up a camp in Renton for the World Cup, drawing fans from overseas to Western Washington. Ferdinand Beck-McZeezy is a Belgian national who has lived in Western Washington for 21 years. He tells KIRO 7 TV that they're coordinating fan gatherings.
We don't know anything about Seattle. All we know is from the movie Sleepless in Seattle, and the Space Needle.
Local retailers say fans are already arriving in the city and snapping up team merchandise. Pro Image Seattle sports director Tyrese Thrower tells KIRO 7 TV.
Back when the Seahawks were making the Super Bowl run, we tried to get as much World Cup stuff in as possible, and we're selling them right out of the box. So I would say we've been preparing for this since February.
We're talking jerseys, hats, scarves, and other World Cup gear moving quickly as excitement builds ahead of the Belgium-Egypt matchup. In North Seattle, 3,000 homes and businesses are without power right now. Seattle City Light says the cause of the power outage is under investigation. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. And if you're planning to fly your drone into Renton for the FIFA World Cup, you should know there is an airspace restriction and police will be on the lookout for violators. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Renton police have rolled out a new D-drone trailer to help keep Renton skies safe and to enforce temporary drone no-fly zones. The trailer scans the sky in real time, detects unauthorized drones, reads their remote ID, and can pinpoint where the pilot is standing. Here's Renton PD's Megan Black.
In the end, it's to keep the community safe and to protect everyone so they have a really good time.
During the World Cup, flying within a 1-mile restricted zone could get you in trouble. Always check FAA flight rules before you fly. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, this traffic report is brought to you by LeMay's America's Museum. The Valley Freeway is about 47 minutes right now from the Puyallup area to Renton. It's bumper to bumper on 167 as you merge onto 410. It'll take you about a half an hour out of Renton up to Bellevue. There's a lot of brake lights right now still along Bellevue Way Southeast. The Federal Way to Seattle Drive is about 35 minutes. There's a few brake lights as you move through the Kent area. And coming down out of Snohomish County, it's about 36 minutes from Everett to Seattle. Give this Father's Day at LeMay America's Car Museum. Enjoy hundreds of cars, racing simulators, kids' activities, and the new cafe. Make memories that last at americascarlemaymuseum.org. And for your weather, sunshine and warm weather, highs will be in the upper 80s to low 90s around Seattle. Right now, it's about 80 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show. Let's agree to disagree.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
And Agree to Disagree is brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters. Let's swing on over to Kirkland. Police there are asking for assistance from the public in finding out who dog-napped a 14-year-old Shiba Inu that was tied up outside the Kirkland Urban. And I saw this story. I've done this before. I've, left my dogs tied up outside the grocery store, and it just occurred to me, is this an acceptable thing to do, to just leave your dog tied up in public? Sometimes we see the animals, they appear to be suffering, they're whining for help. Maybe they want their owners back, but, this is generally accepted practice. But anyone can take the animal. Angela, do you think this is a social norm that needs to be perhaps looked at a little differently?
Nope. No? I think it's perfectly okay to tie up your dog So let me be clear. I think it's perfectly okay to do so for a limited amount of time. So if you need to run into a store that's like, hey, we don't take dogs, and you can tie up your dog outside and go into the store, that's great. Or maybe there's a restaurant. You want to run in and get a coffee and the dogs aren't allowed. I think it's perfectly acceptable to tie your dog up outside, because one person does a horrible thing and takes a dog does not mean that we shouldn't allow the practice. My question is, are there no cameras there that would have captured who did that? With all the cameras everywhere, it just seems like that would be, it makes me wonder if it wasn't operating or what. This is a pretty popular place. A camera should have captured something.
I'll just be the contrarian and, for the sake of argument, take the opposing view. It's never okay to tie up our canine companions outside a store for any reason. And in a region where dog ownership is outpacing people having kids, you would never tie up your toddler outside a restaurant. And it's just reckless disregard for the precious life of our furry friends, Andrew. Not acceptable.
You know what? That's actually, I mean, I know you're tongue-in-cheek there, but...
you think it's valid?
No, I think it is relatively valid, but actually it's not necessarily about, the folks who say they're that's my fur baby, it's the same as a child, the equivalent, etc. It's the fact that a lot of dogs don't get along. And
That's true.
I mean, I have had this happen to me, dogs walking by one another, and immediately they're snarling within, 2-3 feet of you. And if you get tangled up in that, it's kind of terrifying. You're like everyone says, my dog is fine, but the other dog may not be. The other dog may have leash anxiety. And I mean, I stopped doing this with our dogs because I left them tied up outside the co-op on Capitol Hill. This was probably about 13 years ago. And when we came out of the grocery store, there's a parent there, and they're like, I need to talk to you. Are you this dog's owner? And I'm like, yeah, that's my dog's. And they're like, well, your dog snapped at my child, and I want to let you know you have a dangerous animal. And in that moment, I realized, I don't know what somebody's going to do to my animal when I'm outside.
Or vice versa.
Right, exactly. And, you could have a child who, even if they have the best intentions, they can antagonize that animal for no reason. And if they get bit, I have to put my dog down. And why would I put my animal in that situation?
Okay, now you've changed my mind.
All
because when I pictured this, I was thinking about the well-behaved, little puppies or whatever that I've seen outside. But you're 100% right. I've had those moments where I'm walking up to a store and I see a dog tied up and I move farther away because I don't know what they're ones that you feel like have that energy that I'm not quite sure what they're going to do.
Well, and dogs are instinctual.
Yes.
Right? And even if they have a perfect track record, they're still not completely domesticated into such a way where they can repress any and all kinds of behavior on the spur of a moment. I was actually bit, or at least a dog attempted to bite me in the face one time, but largely this was my fault. It was my friend's dog, and it was a bigger animal, and I had sunglasses on, thank God. But I go up and I start petting it, and I put my arm around this dog I had never met before. I don't know why.
Why did you do that?
Andrew, it was the dumbest. I look back on it, I was like, what was I thinking? So I put my arm around the dog's head a little bit, and I'm really close, and I'm stroking its ear. And all of a sudden, it just goes, and full teeth. Full teeth come right at my sunglasses and ended up removing my sunglasses. But I was
no kidding.
Thank God that safety barrier was there. And he goes, that dog has never done that before in the 10 years of life it's had. And I'm like, that was probably human error on my part. But it goes to your
whatever
point.
Reason, it felt threatened.
Threatened in the moment. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure I'm probably going to get some hate from animal lovers on here. I don't know.
Nah.
We'll see. We'll play them next.
Well, I just want to say, before you go to the next story, apparently there is video. Thank you to one of our texters that said there is video of the person taking this dog. And so, but it's hard because the person appears to be wearing a hoodie and So anyway, and it's so sad. They've had this pup for 14 years.
I know. The Shibus are a very popular, breed too.
The
for these
Shibus?
Shiba Inus. They're like the dog that's on the Dogecoin, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So I think they probably have some kind of retail.
They should be able to catch this person. It's a Chevrolet Malibu. All right, I think they're going to catch him.
They're going to catch him.
Let's see what happens.
I hope so. Okay, let's go over to South Korea. Now, a country which has brought us a lot of amazing things, including now fake online stores where you can buy whatever you want without actually buying anything. And Greg, they're called dopamine sites, and they recreate the entire online shopping experience.
Wow.
Thanks to Vice for flagging this. So you can browse all the products and read the reviews and add all the items to your cart. You can enter the shipping address and click buy, and you can even track the simulated truck headed to your house but nothing is real, so you don't have to spend any.
At your doorstep.
Yes, because
that is wild.
It's an answer to the shopping addiction that so many have online. Do we have a problem here, Houston?
I think that would make the problem worse, ultimately. I'm thinking you could use this in terms of any type of addiction, and I think it would serve to fuel it even more rather than repress it. It's a kind of a form of torture in the process, not a cure.
I feel like it's a Band-Aid, and it's not going to get to the root cause. And so I appreciate them offering something that could be a bridge, like maybe while you're being treated for the issue.
Like the nicotine gum of online shopping addiction treatment.
Nicotine gum, that's perfect analogy. But at some point, you have to get to the root cause, or you're just going to do it somewhere else.
But to your point, maybe it's an incremental weaning off of the addiction to shopping, to where if you order like $1,000 item, a $100 item shows up at your door. And so you get a little bit of the dopamine hit, and you get a little something in the process, but it wasn't as outrageous as like a $1,000 purchase.
You know what I realized this is actually probably going to be for? This is going to be for like me if I have dementia later in life, and I'm all alone in my house, and like my family members, like, oh God, Grandpa keeps buying all this crap online. Like, he doesn't need anymore. Let's get him on this website, and he can buy everything that he wants, but he's not going to blow all the money.
Whatever happened to that bird feeder I purchased last week?
Right. Totally forgot about it. Completed the purchase in my mind. Problem solved.
Greg Tomlin and Angela Poe Russell in on the Gee and Ursula Show. Coming up next, we'll hear from you. Still time to get in on the text line, 888-973-5476. We'll be right back.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com. That's PendergastLaw.com.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Oh my goodness, time flew. I had such a good time. But listen, the best part is coming up when we get to hear from you. What you thought about everything, your text messages. Why don't you kick us off, Greg?
Is the heat different in 2026, or are we constitutionally weaker here in the Northwest? Todd in Eden Claw writes, 80 degrees in Seattle feels much hotter than 80 degrees in Chicago, LA, or a non-humid Florida due to our higher longitude.
I have no idea if that's true, but I believe it.
Take it to the bank.
I believe it. I
Non-humid
absolutely. I
Florida?
grew up in Florida, and this stuff just feels different. I don't know. Rob in Puyallup, I think the argument could be made that we used to heat when we get used to the heat when we don't have air conditioning. Now that AC is everywhere, our bodies can't adjust as well to rapid temperature changes. I like that theory too.
Is the World Cup going to be a boon or bust for business? The 206 says, I'm a hell no. I'm not going to Seattle because of the World Cup. Well, okay.
Layla here, business owner here. I got here at 8:30, thought we were going to be super busy. Streets are empty. Parking is absolutely empty, and I'm so disappointed. Even the people usually come to work and stay at home today because they said it's going to be super crowded. I don't see it. Even people who work in the building are staying away because they were told to stay home and work remotely. I'm so sorry to hear that.
And we're only 10 minutes away from Belgium and Egypt kicking off here in our backyard. On the news that the UK is banning social media for people under the age of 16, Benny in Maple Valley writes, question, forget 16, is there any good reason why anyone under 18 should be on social media? Any at all? Perhaps I lack enough imagination, but it seems the risks, addiction, misinformation, shorter attention spans, etc., far outweigh the benefits. I don't think you're necessarily wrong, Benny.
Agree. All right, should people tie up their dogs in public? Braden in Snohomish, my wife and I would never leave our dog tied up. Would you leave your toddler sitting outside?
Elaine in Seattle, my dog was attacked by another dog when I left her outside in Starbucks. The manager there said you can't leave animals unattended at any time.
All right, scenarios. Should I move and change our lifestyle so we can afford private school? Joni in 253, we made the sacrifice to send our son to a private Catholic school. Best decision we ever made. He got a great education, and to this day, he's 36 now, is thankful and appreciative for the time he spent there.
And Mitch in Kent writes, what makes this parent so certain the kids in that school would be behind other states? I've taught in Texas and Washington, and I honestly can't see that big of a difference between what kids in high-needs Title I schools in Texas and a similar school here where I teach high school now. So much of what a parent can do is to support learning at home. Read books with your kids as opposed to reading to your kid. Sit with them while they do homework, ask them to describe what they do, and just as importantly, volunteer at school as often as you can. See what's going on from the inside. Build relationships with the staff. These things go a long way towards modeling the importance of education and gives you the connections you need to resolve issues at the school.
I love that.
It's deep.
Yes, it is. Justin in Tacoma, I have a child who attended public school my entire life. No way my parents could have afforded private or moved to an area with a potentially better school. Even though I didn't perform particularly well throughout school, I always did my best, turned out just fine with plenty of street smarts. And I think we're about out of time, right? So I need to thank you so much for your text messages. Let's get to Ursula's words to live by. Okay, this is short and sweet, y'all. Scared is what you're feeling. Brave is what you're doing. Think about that. And then I can't find the person who this quote belonged to, but it was not me. And I absolutely love it. So shout out to whoever responsible. But it's the idea that you may feel afraid, but you counter that when you actually do something.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to shout out a listener, actually, who was kind enough to send me a book. And she mentioned me talking about my experience in rehab. And the quote in the book that she shared, she wrote it on the inside of the jacket. She said, the quote was, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? Said Mole to the horse. This is a children's book. And the horse said, ask for help.
It's good.
I love that. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, let's get to Nick for more profound thoughts.
Well, I think it's no surprise if many took a break today from their regular routine to get a chance for fun and play with the World Cup soccer game about to start right down the street, and majority of people staying cool from all the heat. But I don't think it's required to make your way to Denny Blaine for a remedy of less clothing to tackle that heat train. We're not going to tie you up there like that dog at the grocery store. You're free to cool down wherever or however you'd like today.
I think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Greg, I've enjoyed co-hosting this show with you. I believe G is back tomorrow, right, from World Cup duties. So he'll be in with you tomorrow. Rest of the team, Nick and Chef, thanks for having us, and all of you listening. What a good time we had. Thank you again, Greg. You're
What a
awesome.
pleasure. Great
You're
time.
Awesome. Have a great day, everybody. Jake and Spike coming up next.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
The shadows hide on the darker side.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
When your closets don't work, the pantry's jammed, garage useless, most homes were never designed for real life. Charlie Harder here for Closets by Design. It's so much more than just closets, garages, pantries, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds, all custom built. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com wesleyfinancialgroup.com or call 1-800-BUY-DESIGN.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine Experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand, so shelves stay stocked and buildings